One day after the deadly shooting at Florida State University, we're learning more about the victims who died. 45-year-old Tiru Chaba was a father and executive for the campus food vendor, and 57-year-old Robert Morales worked at the dining services department and was a high school football coach. Katie Weiss is in Tallahassee for us, and she spoke to a survivor as this investigation continues.
Madison Askins is lucky to be alive after her encounter with the gunman.
The minute I heard the shots, I took off running, as did my friend. Unfortunately, I tripped and fell, and when I was trying to get back up, he shot me in the rear end.
That's when Askins said she played dead to save her life.
So I released all the muscles in my body. I closed my eyes, I held my breath, I did everything I could to look like I was dead.
This video appears to show the alleged gunman opening fire as people ran for their lives.
2 people were killed and 5 wounded before the officers then injured the suspect.
Within 3 to 5 minutes, the situation was over. But the officers had already responded, already neutralized the threat.
Friday evening, a candlelight vigil capped a somber day on campus.
It's the kind of tragedy that shouldn't happen. Not here, not anywhere. We are heartbroken.
Still grieving, students and others returned to retrieve their belongings they left behind during the chaos.
It was horrible what everybody on campus had to go through. No student should ever have to go through that.
FSU canceled all home athletic events through Sunday, and Governor Ron DeSantis ordered flags across the state to fly half-staff until sunset on Monday. Katie Weiss, CBS News, Tallahassee, Florida.
FSU police are responding. Remain alert. Report information online. You're not going to be able to get in. You're going to have to go
Tonight, and we have learned one of those killed at Florida State was from Greenville County. Our Julia Keener joins us now with more on how he's being remembered. Julia.
That's right, Gordon. 45-year-old Tiru Chaba was a resident of Greenville County and was one of the 2 people killed and 6 others injured when police say the son of a deputy opened fire on Florida State's campus. We learned today Chaba was working for a food service vendor, Aramark, when he was killed on campus. A LinkedIn profile listed Chaba as a regional vice president who has worked for the company for more than 2 decades. Aramark Collegiate Hospitality said in a statement, quote, "We are heartbroken to confirm that an Aramark employee was among those killed at FSU yesterday in the senseless act of violence. We are absolutely shaken by the news, and our deepest sympathies are with the family and our entire Aramark community." Attorneys representing the family tell us the Greenville County resident was a married father with 2 children. Bakari Sellers released this statement. Tiru Chaba's family is going through the unimaginable now. Instead of hiding Easter eggs and visiting with friends and family, they're living a nightmare where this loving father and devoted husband was stolen from them in an act of senseless and preventable violence. We ask you to keep his family in your thoughts and prayers as we fight to ensure they see justice that honors the memories of Mr. Chaba and all the victims of Thursday's shooting. We will keep you updated here and on WSPA.com as we continue to learn more.
As we've been reporting, a suspect is in custody following a mass shooting at Florida State University in Tallahassee. Authorities say 2 people are dead and at least 6 people have been injured.
Jacob Murphy from our Tallahassee affiliate WCTV has the latest.
Students here described a scene of fear and confusion, sirens blaring, officers swarming in, and hundreds of students running for their lives. Multiple agencies, including Florida State Police, rushed to the campus of Florida State University in Tallahassee after reports of an active shooter.
A gunman opened fire on the main campus of Florida State University in Tallahassee, shooting multiple individuals.
This video captured students running across the street as the chaos unfolded at the student union around noon.
People started rushing to the back and everyone just started running out of the student union. About a minute later, we heard about 8 to 10 gunshots.
An active shooter alert was sent out and instructed people to stay away from all doors and windows as many students sheltered in place in classrooms.
We got the desks and started piling them up against the door. We tried to get the bigger desk, the main desk, the presenter's podium against the door.
This father rode a service elevator with 50 others to try to reach safety.
The doors open and, 2 officers were there, guns drawn, yelled, "Did you see anything?" We're like, "No."
FSU police responded immediately, engaged, neutralized, and apprehended the shooter. 2 victims of deceased are deceased.
President Trump reacted to the news from the Oval Office.
It's a shame. It's a horrible thing. Horrible that things like this take place.
All classes and events are canceled at FSU for the remainder of the day. FSU has about 44,000 students enrolled. About 10 years ago, a shooting at the main library left 3 people injured. Jacob Murphy, CBS News, Tallahassee.
Some of the scenes that have been coming in throughout the day from Tallahassee, Florida, on campus at Florida State University. We're covering it from a number of different angles. Misty Maris on the legal side is here with me in studio in New York, also joined by a couple of colleagues here who are former FBI, and Stuart Kaplan, who was with us moments ago and has weighed in, but will do so in more detail. And Tracy Walders, former FBI, former CIA, and a News Nation contributor, has been with us throughout. Tracy and Stuart, I'll get to you in a moment. Back to you, Misty, on the issues that have now come up that are legal questions, I would suspect, for this suspect's mother, you were saying.
Yeah, certainly could be a legal issue for the mother. The thing is that you've got an adult, you've got a 20-year-old. We'd be having a way different conversation if you had someone who was 15 or 16 years old, right? We'd be talking about potential culpability for failure to keep those guns in a safe and secure manner in violation of Florida law. So there's absolutely, Tracy was speaking to it before, there's going to be an internal investigation. You're talking about somebody who's in law enforcement, a former, sounds like it's a former service weapon. How is that gun accessed? And that's certainly going to be a part of this. And then, Connell, as far as what we know, we learned a lot. We learned the identity of the suspect. That means law enforcement likely has a lot more information than they're sharing at this particular moment.
That's what you were saying beforehand,
right.
But they did give us
they gave us more than we expected.
Right, a lot more than we expected, in detail about the suspect's background and his relationship to a sheriff's deputy, and Leon County officials were among those on hand, explaining all of that. Let's listen to a clip from that news conference, then come back and talk on the other side for context. This was just moments ago.
The shooter is 20-year-old Phoenix Eichner, and he's the son of a Leon County Sheriff deputy. Our deputy Eichner, has been with the Leon County Sheriff's Office for over 18 years. She has a tremendous job that she's done. Her service to this community has been exceptional. Unfortunately, her son had access to one of her weapons, and that was one of the weapons that was found at the scene.
Let's talk about this part of it, the access to the weapon and who the suspect's mother was. I want to get both Tracy and Stuart to weigh in on that. Tracy, you first.
You know, it's really interesting because we talked about this press conference just in general, and what I found so forthcoming, and to Missy's point, actually, is that we did learn more about the suspect than I also expected that we would learn, and I think that's on purpose. I think people would start putting 2 and 2 together because this individual was a current student. Individuals clearly knew him at the university, and I think they had no choice but to say that he was the son of an active deputy. They wanted to get in front, in my opinion, of that information to sort of, I guess, quell the rumor mill,
yes,
if you will. In terms of the legalities, obviously, I'm not, an attorney. It is very common actually to buy back a weapon that is no longer in service. I actually have done that as a former FBI agent. I did that when we switched weapons companies. And so, listen, to Misty's point earlier, this is not a minor. This is a 20-year-old. So does she have culpability in terms of securing those weapons? That I don't think necessarily is going to play out in this case, but I think they just went right straight forward with who he was and who his mother was to get in front of all of this.
Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.